Hello. This is Zakayo from the Forest Workbench. Then I would like to mark lightning. Only a part of the decal of the kit is used. After all, I wanted to do white 16. That's why the skull drawn on the nose. Skull wearing a top hat. Then white 16. I have to draw this. I don't know until I try to draw. It seems that Edward is producing Deckers. However, I spend a lot of money this month. Scheduled for cat castration surgery. I also have to buy cat goods. Let's draw what I can draw. It's not a difficult picture. You can find images by searching the Edward decals on the web. I will refer to that image. First of all, it's the size. I have printed it. I had a hard time adjusting the size. At first I couldn't scale well. This is a copy of Tamiya decal. So it's the same size as the decal. The number part. The numbers are the same size. So I think this is fine. I set the ruler to mm in the software. I scaled the downloaded image to 50%, but it didn't fit. I made it 80% in size and printed it. And it was just right. I made a gauge with tape on the aircraft. But I don't need it anymore. Peel off. If the size fits, you can also make a decal. However, it is inevitably blurred. It's blurry like this. A method such as attaching this to masking tape with glue and cutting it may also be used. Other method. This copy paper is a little thick. That's why it's difficult to cut if you put it on tape. Paste the carbon copy on tracing paper onto the tape. You can cut it after that. First, paint the whole white and then paint the top hat and face separately. I think that other small parts should be painted with acrylic with a brush. It means to cut out this. Not enough glue. There is a place where I cut too much with a knife. After sticking it on the kit, cover it with masking sole. Align with the front end of the ejector. It's a little different. The position of the injector is different. Is it okay in the middle? Match the height of the center of the top head and the lower machine gun. It looks like this. Then on the other side too. I tried masking like this. Is it a little dark? Wait. Well, it looks like this. The back is like this. First, paint white. Since the background is a dark color, apply a thin coat of base white. I don't want to add too much thickness. Apply thinly and paint white on it. Well, I misunderstood this skull nose art. If you look closely at the picture of the actual machine, there is a white border around the illustration. Perhaps even in the actual machine. I think that the base is painted white and then drawn on top. So I tried masking again. I often saw pictures of Edward decals. Certainly there was a white border around it. So I cut it out accordingly. It's just a little bigger than before. It's masking to paint white first and then paint the face. First, paint white. Then shark teeth here. This uses the decals from the kit. I think the kit decal is a little different from this white 16. Normally, I think it is better to proceed with painting. This time I will use the kit decals for shark teeth and the nationality mark. Then I will paint it. Well, I painted white for the time being. The paint looks light because it will get dirty and black. Wow, this masking is impossible. After this, I will draw with a brush. I think that it is easier. Let's remove the masking. I want to scrape off the rise of the surrounding paint. I will paint the OB of the boom blue. Touch up where there is a leak. The paint to use. Is it a little dark? Light brown. It's light brown acrylic paint, then such a thin brush. A ball of water. After all, this color is dark. Well, I'll use this color, number 44 pale brown. In other words, it is extremely difficult to mask the white edges around it. Should I paint from black? Is it better to draw the outline? It seems better to draw the outline with a black line. Since it can be overpainted, draw from the outline. Semi-gloss black is used. Apply the black part first. because there is a contour. The skin-colored part cannot be escaped at the contour. After drawing the outline, apply the skin color. If you put too much in the brush, it will stick out. Place the kitchen paper on the desk and apply it while removing excess paint. If there is no extra, you can leave it as it is. I think you can apply it from wherever you like. The brush I'm using now is a little bad. If you make a mistake, you can drop it with Magic Lin. It was the lacquer paint below does not damage. Draw the outline of the face first. There are also places where you will have to paint a black line over the skin color later. What color is the glasses? It looks like white glasses. Yes, I finished the drawing. Only here. I haven't drawn the others yet. Well, this is about it. Then the shape of the numbers collapsed slightly. The way the numbers are painted must be improved. Other masking methods may be better. It may be better to draw numbers with tape as I did at F4 in Zoukei-Mura before. Then I will paint the rest. After that, decals are pasted. Then I will put a decal. Except for what I'm drawing now, I'm going to use the decals from the kit. This surface is very matte. If you stick the decal here as it is, silvering will occur. Air gets into the back of the decal. When the decal dries, it looks like silver. That is why it is called silvering. To prevent it, apply clear once here. It means eliminating the paint gap. I don't paint clear this time. I did it before. Zoukei-Mura F4 did not paint clear. However, there was a place where silvering occurred a little. Well, the M4A3 Sherman, whose production has stopped halfway. Tank. I put a Sherman decal on a similar matte fabric and silvering did not occur. Proceed in the same way. I use Crea setters and softers. The softer softens the decal film. This setter contains a little softener, but it is glue. Then hot water. If you draw hot water and leave it, it will naturally cool down. So recently I'm using a mug heater. Maybe it's a food warmer. An electric heater that keeps the food on the plate so that it doesn't get cold. A bowl of water is placed on it. The hot water is quite nice. But if you take a bath, the temperature will be lukewarm. After applying this decal, I apply a semi-gloss top coat. For the time being, I'm pasting the decals today. Put this in hot water and take it out immediately. What I want to paste now is the left wing. Normally, only the mark setter is painted here, but I will add a little mark softer. If there are too many softers, the decal will be too soft and will break. Testing with unused parts is essential. There are a lot of setters. If it is too much, it will be a factor to pollute the surroundings. Place the decal here. I push out the water inside with a brush. If you use a cotton swab here, the decal is weak because the softer is put on the backside, so it may be distorted. However, I think that by putting a softer on the backside, it will follow the unevenness of the painted surface. Therefore, silvering is less likely to occur. Of course, apply the softer on this as well. I will paste the shark teeth under the engine nacelle. In this case, there is a clear range between the teeth, so I think you can check the silvering. However, since the color is gray, it may be difficult to see even if silvering occurs. This amount. It seems better to apply a little more. This is difficult to paste. It may be torn. After all, it was torn. This is easier to paste. There may not be much softer left because there is a lot of water on it now. And I also use the wet brush by heating it directly with a heater. I'm warming up now. If it gets too hot, the decal will be ruined. Check the temperature on the back of your hand before using. The brush has a softer touch than the cotton swab. Even if there are softers on the front and back, the decal will not be damaged unless you do something strange. By holding it down with a warm brush, the decals will become familiar with the panel lines. Use a warm brush to hold down the transparent areas where silvering is likely to occur. The decal is pasted like this. When the decal is half dried, cut the panel line with a knife and hold it down with a warm brush. At that time, you can use a cotton swab. The decal of the aircraft is finished. Caution data. Small letters. I've finished pasting all those places. Shark teeth that was broadcast earlier. I finished pasting it a few days ago. No silvering has occurred. Therefore, I feel that it is better to use a softer on the lower side for matting. I think it's best if it's a strong decal. Of course, it is necessary to confirm in advance whether the softer will not work. Refueling port mark. Actually, I don't think the caution data remains so clean. This time I did chipping. It is strange that the red circle remains at the chipping, so I left the decal only where the paint remained. I have cut the part where silver is out. Well, I also have to put decals on the propellers, but I haven't painted the propellers yet. Apply a semi-gloss top coat over this. I think the paint on the aircraft will be a little glossy. I think the decal part will be a little less glossy. I will apply it by the next time. What should I do next time? I was thinking of putting a decal on the propeller now, but I haven't painted the propeller yet. By the way, when I applied the undercoat to the aircraft, I also tried to undercoat the propeller like this. However, since the propeller is painted black, I wonder how effective it is. I think it's just a little whitish where the air hits. Let's paint the propeller. I've already painted the spinner. I painted it with the blue band of the boom. Can't we keep talking with propellers alone? What should I do next time? Well, I'll think about something next time. See you again.